the blessings of the God Almighty. So today we begin with the interfaith prayer. We have some community members from different faiths that will be saying a short prayer for us. First, I welcome Mr. Jerome Adistam from Chicago. He is the son of a very famous pastor from India, and he is the treasurer of New Hope Clinic, also the treasurer of American Multi-Ethnic Coalition. Please welcome Mr. Jerome Adistam.
Okay, let's have a word of prayer. God and Heavenly Father, we thank you and praise you for this wonderful evening. Lord, we bless you. We need your blessing. We need your guidance, whatever we are going to do on this Global Institute of Leadership. Lord, your guidance was there for so many years and so many institutions and so many ways. We need some more blessings upon each and every one. Those are all working very hard for this event.
Shri Vignarajam Bhaje, Shri Vignarajam Bhaje, Shri Vignarajam Bhajeham, 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 Bhaje Tamiha Shri Vignarajam Bhaje, Shri Vignarajam Bhajeham, 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 Bhaje Tamiha Shri Vignarajam Bhaje. Santatamaham kunjaramukam Kantakasutam tamiha Shri Vignarajam Bhaje. Santatamaham tanti kunjaramukam Antakantakasutam tamiha Shri Vignarajam Bhaje. Shri Vignarajam Bhajeham, 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 Bhaje tamiha Shri Vignarajam Bhaje. Sevita Surendra Mahaniya Gunashilam Japatapa Samadhi Sukha Varadanukulam. Sevita Surendra Mahaniya Gunashilam Japatapa Samadhi Sukha Varadanukulam. Bhavita Suramunigana Bhakta Paripalam Bhayankara Vishangama Tanga Kulakalam. Shri Vignarajam Bhaje. Shri Vignarajam Bhajeham, 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 Bhaje Tamiha Shri Vignarajam Bhaje. Kanakakeyura Haravani Kanita Gambhira Gauragiri Shobham Sushobham. Kanakakeyura Haravani Kanita Gambhira Gauragiri Shobham Sushobham. Kamadi Bhaya Bharitam Hudamada Kanikalusha Kantitam Kanta Pratapam. Sanaka Sukhanarada Patanjali Parashara Matangamuni Sangha Sallapam. Satya Paramabjanayana Pramuda Muktigala Tattvamasi Nitya Nigamadi Swarupam. Shri Vignarajam Bhaje. Shri Vignarajam Bhajeham, 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 Bhaje Tamiha Shri Vignarajam Bhaje. Shri Vignarajam Bhaje. Shri Vignarajam Bhaje.
Thank you so much for that beautiful song on Lord Ganesha. Do we have Mr. Iqbal?
Not here,
he's not here. Okay. We will now move on to the welcome address. We will have Mr. Koshi O. Thomas, who is a well-known community leader from New York. He's the vice chair of the World Malayali Council. He's also on the Queens New York Community Board. He was the vice president of the India Day Parade and also the director of the Global Eye International Institute of Leadership. Please welcome Mr. Koshi Thomas.
Thank you, Guru. Good morning, everybody. We all praise Lord Almighty for this auspicious day, for this wonderful day. What a blessed day. We all blessed by Lord Almighty with all His blessings. If we made it possible to assemble in New York, from Chicago, from Atlanta, from Florida, from Washington, D.C., we all are here to celebrate the unity in diversity. We are really honored by the presence of our honorable Congressman, Mr. Jonathan Jackson. When you look at him, he is the unity in diversity. He is the symbol of unity in diversity. If you look at it, if you look at the past performance of his activities in his own constituency, we have seen the record. Everybody unanimously, even though there were primary election, but unanimously, almost unanimously, he's elected for the Congress. And in his speeches, I have watched, I have heard his saying, he is taking the Southern Illinois to Washington, D.C. Whatever needed for the community, whatever needed for the people in need, he has taken, he is taking, he's doing it. Within this, not even 1 month, his name has come so much popular in the sense of his work in the Congress already within 1 month. We have to really appreciate. And apart from that, with all his busy schedule, look, he took all the time from Washington to here by train, not by flight or anything like that, or not with all sophistication. He took a train like an ordinary person from Washington, D.C. to New York City to be present here, to show his support for the community, So that's what, we are really honored. I mean, the words doesn't, the countless words, we can keep on saying on his achievements and his, commitment to the community. Now, next going into our own friend, Mr. Dr. Vijay Prabhakar, VGP. Okay, he doesn't need any words, so we are assembled here with all his strength, and he has brought all the community together here. We have here American Multi-Ethnic Coalition. We have here distinguished guests and our friends from the community, from the leadership, from India to USA, from Chicago to New York. We have everybody here together assembled to show the love and affection and the support for the community leaders, especially to our Congressman, Mr. Jonathan Jackson. Along with that, I would like to, welcome each and every one of you who are all here. You all are very important people. I know we are your leaders from your own community, from your own associations. So we are really happy that you all are here, and we have assembled here for the inauguration for the Global Eye International Institute of Leadership. We are trying to promote leaders into the international leadership. So with all your consent and cooperation, let me thank you, let me welcome you all once more for this historic event. This is really an historic event. So really thank you so much. Welcome you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Thomas Koshi. We will now have Ms. Sita Bala, who will give us information about the GSA India Expo and also talk about the sequels that we have been doing. Sita Bala is the awards jury chair and is also on the board of the Global Eye International Institute of Leadership.
quick synopsis of the Expo, the GSA India at 75 Expo. So the Global Eye GSA, Global Strategic Alliance, India 75 Expo 2022 began with a curtain raiser. For those of you who are not aware, it happened in Chicago on September 23rd and 24th, and then followed by the actual Expo, which was December 15th, 16th, and 17th. Basically, it is showcasing India to to America, the mainstream America, and to celebrate, commemorate India's independence anniversary, 75th anniversary, and also strengthening the US-India relationship. And the theme of the expo was Made in India, Made for the World. And the executive team, conceived, of course, led by Dr. Vijay Prabhakar. They conceived this idea on January 26th, which is a Republic Day of India. And then they immediately traveled to India, met with all the dignitaries, ministries, and then also conducted a lot of roadshows in the US subsequently. And this is the first time ever something like this was held, for the Indian diaspora and of this magnitude in North America. And basically it is showcasing India's transformation through growth and development as one of the top economy in the world. And the expo featured ancient India as well as new India on a single platform where we showcased, it had trade shows, daily workshops, and also panel discussions. And it basically featured how India has advanced in the field of technology, education, digital technology, artificial intelligence, medicine, pharmaceutical, so on and so forth. So we showcase all the areas, and then the most interesting thing was the theme for the day one was New India, and for day two it was celebrating US-India relationship, and third day was celebrating oneness. And the expo also featured excellent classical and also modern Indian dance, music, and so on and so forth. We also, one of the salient thing was like we awarded, Dr. Prabhakar had this thing of recognizing 18 students under 18, it's Indian American students, they were recognized. We had, a lot of applications come in, and we scrutinized and we shortlisted 18 under 18. So youth were awarded. This was actually in September. And then we also recognized 75 Pride of India, those who actually contributed to the growth of India. So 75 is called Pride of India awardees. And then also the corporates that did extremely well, they were given Golden Peacock Awards. So I am so excited to invite some of the Pride of India awardees. So I'm going to request Ravi Teja Mothu to come up and tell us, his experience. Ravi is the founder of ETSA, which strives to bring efficiency, transparency, traceability to plastic waste. So I'm going to let him talk to us.
Thank you so much for the opportunity, but in the interest of time, I just want to be very brief to tell how this award has been transforming. And it's just been a month since we got this award, but because of this award and the support which the Global Eye ecosystem have given us, we've landed a lot of projects, and there's a lot of interest in the industry, and it's been truly transformative. And I thank the GSA India Expo at 75 jury members and the organizers for coming up with this concept of awarding extraordinary talented individuals and recognizing them. And there's several others out here. I want you guys to hear their stories as well. And on that note, thank you, Dr. VGP. Thank you, Congressman Jonathan Jackson, for being a huge support for this initiative. And I hope that you would continue your work to further foster and be the voice of young young people around the country in localizing the Build Back Better bill, so we can build a greener, better, and stronger future for all of us. Thank you so much.
Sir, please. Quick, thank you.
Thank you very much, Ravi. I'm probably going to, we are going to have other people that are going to join us. I'm just going to quickly recognize Mr. Ravi Karkara is also one of the recipients. Mr. Pramod Koshi is another recipient. So we will, sure. Thank you very much. I now invite Vibha, who was, who participated in the GSA Expo, both the curtain raiser as well as the main expo. Take it away, Vibha. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Balaji. Such a nice introduction. But good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Okay, we are here to celebrate Global Eye International, which is started with Dr. Vijay Prabhakar. So please round of applause to Dr. Vijay Prabhakar. He's putting everyone together. As we know, he always lift the people. Always. We are here to celebrate here, not only just the expo, we also going to meet a lot of people. We're going to increase our business. We will improve our business. And there's 6 I's, I can say 6E, which is improvement, empower, education. A lot of people, a lot of students met in this expo and they shared their thoughts. They share their intelligence. They show their what they can do, how they can help. They become friends. So this is not just in America. This is worldwide. So please join us. Tell your people to join us and do such a great things. Also, I like to thank Mr. Johnson to be here. We like to, like I said, Dr. Vijay Prabhakar always lived. So I wanted to see you next president of America. Round of applause. So there will be no racial issue, and Vijay Prabhakar is always helping, and he will help you. So we will be with you. Thank you. Thanks a lot, and welcome again, and be safe, and help us and help yourself. Thank you so much. Should I give him?
Now I'd like to introduce Neelam Sabu, who's Naperville Sister City Commissioner and also AMEC Communication Director. Thank you.
Thank you, my friend Guru Swami, for an awesome introduction about me. The name, the person who is flying high in everyone's heart, in social media, in the youth community, and in the global world. And that's the way to go to the global world, to the youth. That is, it can be a Twitter, it can be Instagram, it can be a Facebook, it can be LinkedIn or a Ladder or a Glassdoor. You name it, he is there. He is the person. He is globally everywhere who has been come across the countries from India to USA and rocking every stage. None other than our Ravi, Mr. Ravi Karkara. Why he's so famous? How? The reason is he is working towards the global sustainability and climate action, which is the most important thing in the world right now. He's the man who's accountable, who's regularly contribute to the Global Eye magazine, Global Sustainability Initiative from Africa, Latin America, Europe, and Asia. He is the co-founder of global initiative like A1 for Food, New York Investor Forum on India for 2047. If you haven't got a chance to listen to his recent, that is just 2 days before, he hosted something in the Instagram, please go and check it out. He is also a co-founder with and has been contributing towards Global Unplastic Day, Global Solar Day, Global Green Hydro Day. So that's why we call him Global Ravi, because he is everywhere. He is reachable to the universe. It's my pleasure to introduce him here. He has got a number of numerous awards. But to keep the time short, I'm going to just name the recent one, which is the Pride of India GSA India Expo 75 Award, Global Novus Award for the Big Change via Accountable Change, Crown Jewel of Social Activist, International Social Award, Global Official Award for the Interfaith for promoting peace and harmony. Here, I welcome Mr. Ravi Karkara.
Thank you so much, Neelamji, and so humbled to accept the presidency of such an important institute, which is the Global I Institute of Leadership, New York. I think before I say a few things, I really want to echo very important words, Jonathan, sir. You will recognize these words, which is, it's time for a new course, a new coalition, a new leadership. Somebody got to rise above race, above sex, a new leadership. Very important for us as we really define the way we want to look at the important, eminent words of His Honorable Jesse Jackson. We're so honored that you're here with us, his son, and we will make sure that the words are not just words. They become the core value and become the core calling of something which is inclusive. It is respecting diversity, respecting race, ethnicity, abilities, sexual preference, and most importantly, as Dr. Vijay always says, is to submit to Mother Earth and sustainability. So thank you so much. We are so honored that you are here with us. Senator, we are so excited. And I'm so excited because the core to this is really to create leadership that really emulates the most important core of this room. Look at this room, just look at around each other. Look at the beautiful diversity that we represent. And that is going to be the core. We are going to invest in ensuring that we have more young leaders like Praful. Let's give him a big round of applause. We want, and Praful, I'm going to ask him to say a few words just before Praful is a recipient of the Pride of India Award, a story of somebody who started a small tea stall because he had a show, I would say he decided not to do his MBA, and he started something called the MBA Chai Wala. It became a revolution across the country. If you just go on Instagram, if you go on Twitter, he is my guru when it comes to social media. Somebody who comes from very modest background has taken on that and has become one of the biggest entrepreneurs, one of the biggest names in India, has over 200, I would say, the MBA Chai Wala stall, what we can really say in America would be the Starbucks, but I think it's beyond. He's an investor, he's an entrepreneur, he's a philanthropist, who's at this young age of 26, has taken on the entire country. So this is really going to be the core. This is going to be the core of our work, to have leaders such as Praful, and also really ensure that we're investing. So the main area of really is going to be, it'll be the first institute which is going to bring together folks from across the world looking at investing in democratic, inclusive, and diversity arranged leadership. Look at investing in women leaders, indigenous leaders who are often left out. Look at the minority leaders across the world with a very clear vision that we are at a very important junction in history where we're looking at the fourth industrial revolution. We're looking at issues of artificial intelligence. We're looking at the new, I would say, the new form of world order where our country, where at least our roots come from, where India is emerging slowly or re-emerging and reclaiming its space in the global order. So with that, I really want to say, where is my guru? Dr. Vijay. who I met 7 years ago, and since then he's become a big brother. And I must say that I cannot, let this be incomplete because, my wife asked me on 31st, I was in Ravi's house, and we were looking at the reflection of 2022. And I said, what happened to us in 2022? I said, I got my second family. I'm so grateful to the GSA family, to each and every member who have been there. And that's just family, we have our own disagreements, but what we really do is have lots of agreements. Agreements that we are so grateful to this country, which has given us so many opportunities. And it's so important to us to invest in America, invest in the young people of America, invest in the minority community of America, and of course, invest so that this country leads the sustainability discourse, the sustainability innovation in the area of solar technology, in the area of green hydrogen, in the area of renewables, so that we become the number one. And with that note, I'm really telling you, Jonathan Jackson, sir, that we will make sure that the words of the Honorable, your father, will be the core value for us every time we take steps towards leadership. So thank you so much, and thank you everybody for joining. And before I conclude, Praful, if you want to just say, what does leadership mean to you as a Pride of India recipient, please.
Thank you very much. I'm grateful enough to be part of with you guys. So I will start with Hindi. सत्य परेशान हो सकता है पर पराजित नहीं, तो उसका मतलब है डॉक्टर विजय प्राप्ति। दूसरा विच इज ऑमनी प्रेजेंट, तो वो है रवि जी मतलब सूर्य का प्रकाश विच इज एवरीवेयर, राइट। सो दिस द बेस्ट डेफिनेशन आई कैन गिव। आई एम सो ग्लैड कि आई एम कनेक्टिंग विथ यू गाइस। यू आर पार्ट ऑफ GSA India and doing great job, working hard, connecting people, talking about harmony, peace, resemblance, success and everything. The whole world comes to US with everything, but India can give US couple of things which I will tell, which is very close to my heart, which is harmony, peace, prosperity, and the whole world is one. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, which I always tell. You can get the best wine, you can get the best investment, you can get the best everything, technology, AI and everything, but the one thing which you'll always remember, which is close to India, which is harmony, peace, prosperity, and Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. And always remember this. Thank you very much for your time, and thank you very much for the opportunity. Thank you very much. Thank you for this photo.
Ladies and gentlemen, Praful is a 22-year-old young man from Indore, Madhya Pradesh, an MBA dropout. He started over 100 Starbucks-like chai stores all over India, and today he's the most successful millionaire on the way to become billionaire, to crossing 200 like Starbucks in India. He traveled all the way to the expo for us. We were able to get him the visa, in spite of the long waits, and we are so proud that he's here today. That he is here. He's an inspiration. Guess how old is he? He's only 22 years young. Thank you for being with us.
It's still a 22 guy.
Picture time, please.
No, we are in running time. We have to fast.
Please, sir.
I'm just going to quickly introduce our next speaker, Dr. Epan Pally. He is serving currently as a chairman and CEO of CIC Group Incorporated. He's a management consultant, and his advisory firm focuses on healthcare, education, and environment. Please, Dr. Hari Epan Pally.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I understand. Thank you so much, Vijay and Sheetal. Ravi organizing this, and Congressman is here. It's wonderful to see all of you again. I was in Washington, D.C., and the leaders give, and the others take, and Vijay is proving that he is giving to the community at large, and especially in the sustainable development space led by Ravi in this occasion. I would like to congratulate all of you for attending this event. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. We are now excited to introduce you to a young fashion designer from New York, Mr. Sandeep Tupili, who happens to be from my home state, Tamil Nadu, Chennai, and also I've known him for many years. So he's going to give a brief introduction about himself and what he does here. Thank you, Sandeep.
Hi, first of all, thank you for this opportunity, and I'm going to keep this real quick and cut short. So when I grew up, growing up, I discovered a trunk that held my grandmom's precious things. And while I was seeing it, I was playing around with it, I got screamed at by everyone. They were like, "These things are priceless." It was a sari which was hand woven with gold. It was a sari which had a lot of cultural heritage, a sari which also had a lot of resale value, even though it was 70 years old. And growing up, I realized I grew up to a very different concept of fashion, where clothes lost value when they grew older. But this fascinated me that the sari actually grew more in value. And so that's what I convert into garments right now. It's a sari that's not only a piece of clothing, it's a sari that's a piece of art, hand woven, which has a lot of heritage value. And that's what I'm trying to bring to the US, a bit of my culture and my expression. And yes, thank you so much again for this opportunity, and thank you.
Thank you. And if you want to look at his collection, he has them, displayed. So take a look. Next, I would like to invite a very renowned Bharatanatyam dancer from your own New York, New Jersey area, Ms. Ramya Ram Narayan, who will speak to us about how this Leadership Institute will benefit the Indian art form.
Thank you so much. Art inspires, art uplifts, art engages, and art makes us more knowledgeable about our past, our present, and it's an insight to the future. Through arts, we all infer how the future landscape of a country or a diaspora of a country would turn into be. And we are dancers from the Nrityanjali Institute of Dance from the tri-state area, and these students who have studied this art form for many, many, many years have done what they have done not only because their parents have introduced them to the art and the art form, but also something that has touched their psyche, their vibe, and that has brought excitement, that has given them a purpose, that has made them feel that they are the future, they are the cultural ambassadors, they are the leaders of not only the country, but also the art form. And we're very proud to be here and to join all of you in this momentous time to celebrate and to commemorate India and its greatness. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ramya. It's now time for the presidential address, and we are going to be welcoming none other than Dr. Vijay Prabhakar. In the interest of time, because Congressman needs to get back to DC, we are, rushing it a little bit, so sorry about that. I'll give a brief introduction. Dr. Prabhakar is a public health professional, and he's also the chairman of the 7th Congressional District Multi-Ethnic Coalition in Chicago since 2010. He is currently the national chairman of the American Association of Multi-Ethnic Physicians, chairman of Global Strategic Alliance, president of the Indian American Business Coalition, global ambassador of the University of Houston Tamil Studies, chair, The Global Eye magazine, which you all have been hearing about, reaches 42 million households worldwide. So please welcome our very distinguished Dr. Vijay Prabhakar, who's the mastermind and the driving force behind this entire initiative.
Thank you so much, Shri. Thank you all so much. It's been wonderful to have such a large gathering here at such a short notice. We just see our brothers from New Jersey have come in. Welcome. Must be quite a long drive. And we are very blessed to have the congressman from Chicago, the 1st Illinois District, Congressman Jonathan Jackson, who's the son of the U.S. civil rights leader, the living legend, Reverend Jesse Jackson Sr., who worked with Martin Luther King. So much of history in this room. And he has been so kind enough to honor us as the honorable congressman. This is his first visit to New York. He has visited New York several times. He was sworn in earlier this month, and he serves on the powerful Agriculture and Foreign Relations Committee. And that means we look up to him to strengthen the U.S. and India relationships and take a lead role. Congressman Jackson, I know him for the last 30 years. I still remember in the 90s when he wanted to buy some jewelry for his wife on their anniversary. We walked to Divan Street, like something like Queens, Little India, where Divan in Chicago is, and we selected a piece and he bought it, surprised his wife. And he has been an Indophile. And recently, I'll share one incident in Congress while we were all celebrating Martin Luther King's birthday. Congressman Ro Khanna. How many of you all know Congressman Ro Khanna? Yeah, which state is he from? Excellent. California Congressman Ro Khanna was sitting next to him in Congress, and he was telling Jonathan Jackson, hey man, how are you guys celebrating King's birthday? And Jonathan Jackson turned around to him and said, do you know that it was in Boston in 1800s, Henry Thoreau, as a poet and philosopher who believed in transcendental meditation and Bhagavad Gita, he got his inspiration in the 1800s, who did the first civil disobedience movement in this country. And he inspired Mahatma Gandhi in South Africa. That's how India got its freedom. And then, of course, the rest is history. And so Ro Khanna said, I didn't know that at all. Is that true? And Ro Khanna tweeted it, and it went viral. This happened last week, January 16, 17. So Jonathan Jackson, our honorable congressman, is no stranger to India or Hinduism, and he comes from an illustrious family, but he himself is one of the greatest sons of the state of Illinois in this country. What attracts you is not only he's very passionate, but very open and people-friendly. And he makes the impossible happen. And so we're looking up to great things for you, sir. At this point of time, without further introduction, we know that the Global Eye International Institute of Leadership, which was conceived by us to train not only the young leaders, even mid-professionals, politicians, to come in for short refresher courses in America, network with politicians and leaders, and to help them to learn more. We have 6 verticals. One is on women, youth, startups, business leaders, as also fine arts and cinema and economics. So it's going to be a very interesting thing. And we're very fortunate to have Mr. Ravi Karkara, the global champion of sustainability, who has served over 20 years in the United Nations to bring his leadership to this institute. It's a lot of responsibility, but you can look for exciting things. And we are from Chicago, but we decided to locate it in New York. And Jonathan Jackson said, if you're doing something, put it in New York. So he's thinking for the whole of America. And so we are here launching it today. And it's a very auspicious day because we had several leaders, like we had Praful Bilor from here, is going back tomorrow to India. You listened to Sandeep and his story, Ramya and Ravi Teja and Dr. Hari and others. And nice to see some young people in the room, because you all are the present, not the future.
Under 18 now.
Yeah, and Sachi from New Jersey is here, one of our top 18 under 18. Welcome her. And now I'll request to our Honorable Congressman to come. Before he speaks, we'd like to welcome him the traditional way. We'll request Geeta Radhakrishnan and Mr. Jerome Adistam. Geeta Radhakrishnan is from New York, and to present him the golden silk shawl all the way from India. Put it on the set. Look in the camera there. No. Yes, thank you. We'd like Shri and... next, okay. This is a traditional welcome. We call it Ponnadai from Tamil Nadu. And now we'll request, we have a special presentation from Preetham Rohit. And where is Shanti?
Well, thank you very much. I'm honored to be here. And Dr. Vijay Prabhakar is a very dear friend of mine. I've known him for well over 30 years. And so I want to thank him for his consistency in bringing our communities together. He's done an enormous amount of work in Chicago. Please give my friend Dr. Vijay a loving round of applause for your continued success, your continued strength, and I'd like to thank each one of you for coming out today and being a part of this. I have seen leadership in action with Dr. Vijay, and basically what he's saying is there need to be some more Dr. Vijay's. He can't do this forever. He's done so much for so many, for so long. I thank him for his energy and his passion. What brings us together is to be inclusive, to bring a generation, to help assist them along. I'm probably in the bottom of the third quarter. I'm not the future, and I'm not a young man anymore. But I see so many young, talented people here that I'm very impressed with. And what a marvelous idea, 18 under 80. 18 under 18. I'm closer to 80 than 18. And so I want to thank you all. Keep that passion. You're going to find yourself in life going places you have no idea that you've ever imagined. It was just a year ago this time, I had thought, I heard that the former congressman was retiring on January 3rd. By January 4th, I was on a radio program doing an economic commentary like I always have done on Tuesday afternoon for better than the last 20 years. And someone asked me, would I consider running for Congress? It was the furthest thing from my mind. I had never called myself congressman, never looked at the seat before. Some people plan on these for decades out. It was not on my mind at all. And so I said, let me think about it. I'll get back to you. And a draft movement had begun. And then by February 7th, I announced that I was running. March 7th, I turned in my petitions. And by January 7th of this year, at 1 o'clock in the morning on my birthday, I was sworn in as a congressman from the 1st Congressional District of Illinois. It was in August of 2022. It was in August of 2021. My father had called me and said he wanted to go to Washington, D.C. for a voting rights demonstration in March. And it was August, and I said, okay, Dad. And it was at the last minute. I had other activities planned, so I grabbed the suit, jumped on the plane with him. And that was August. And then later on in the day, he said they're not going to pass the voting rights extension and the amendment, something he cares deeply about. And then later on in the conversation, he says, we're going to go to jail today fighting for our voting rights. So we got booked and arrested in Washington, D.C. in August of 2021. And now 2 years later, I'm sitting in the Congress. So don't be afraid to stand up for social justice. Many of my heroes, and Mahatma Gandhi and Nelson Mandela and Reverend Martin Luther King, and those that have paid a huge price, some of them that have died at the hands of a violent assassin, a worthless bullet, killed these tremendous souls. So now we have to fight against gun violence that's now ravaging the nation in California, and every other time you turn on the news, our children are living in fear. We have to make this overcome. And the last thing I would tell you is that we serve a God who has an imagination bigger than ours. When I was a child, I wanted to have a badge because I thought that that was power. I thought a badge was power. But on January 1st, January 7th, I got to find this thing. On January 7th, beyond my wildest imagination, since 1789, 234 years later, that there have been 12,505 members of the U.S. House of Representatives since it was formed in 1789. 234 years later, there have been 176 African Americans to serve in the House of Representatives. This, my friends, ladies and gentlemen, is a voting card. This is bigger than a badge. Having the right to vote, having the right to participate in elections, and that is what I am so eternally grateful for, that I've been entrusted with now of being one of 176 African Americans in all of American history to have a right to be on the floor to vote. And we're going to continue to open up doors. And the story that Dr. Vijay has shared with you about my friend Rokana, who came to Chicago and endorsed me in the primary. I love my friend and brother, Ro. We're going to do great things together. We're going to make an announcement soon. He's helping bring jobs into my district, in the 1st District of Illinois, high-paying tech jobs. I thank Congressman Rokana. But the story was that Henry David Thoreau, who started the idea of civil disobedience, not cooperating in evil, ended up inspiring Mahatma Gandhi, who ended up leaving South Africa to go to, share with us Satyagraha and Soul Force and the March to the Sea. He went on, in turn, was inspired Reverend Lawson, Reverend Benjamin Elijah Mays, Reverend Martin Luther King's father, and this is the cradle. These are the people that Reverend Martin Luther King learned from on how to transcend and transform the society. So that was one scripture that connects us all. So I want to thank you. I want to appreciate Global Eye Institute again. Continued success, all that you do. Let's keep.
And she's a businesswoman, dedicated to entrepreneurs, and she helps with their families.
Can she met me at the train station?
Yes, she met me at the station. She's the event chair for today, and she's a woman of substance, a woman of integrity, and here we present Global Eye.
Dr. Vijay Prabhakar is honoring her with a medallion.
Yeah, I'm very honored to receive this gift from Global India. Dr. Vijay Prabhakar has been doing a lot of things for our community. He is bringing a lot of business which is really needs help to congressmen and everywhere, and he's really doing a great job. And as Congressman said, we need at least 100 more Vijay Prabhakars to lift up India, to lift up our community, not only India, the Indians who are living abroad also. So all of us have to take interest and help him out to raise all our people in their businesses and in their families. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Our next awardee is Mr. Tirumala Kumbam. Tirumala Kumbam is a Chief Executive Officer of Value Financial Services. So his goal is going to produce a lot of millionaires. So I'm going to probably have him talk about it. Dr. Prabhakar would honor him with a medal.
Mr. Tirumala Kumbam is from Dallas, Texas. He was an IT engineer, and then he started financial literacy, and his goal is to create 100 wealth creation centers across America. Having said that, I'll request him to say a few words.
Yeah, thank you for giving the opportunity, Dr. Vijayji, and it's a great pleasure to talk to you all. So my mission and our business mission is to create wealth for families. We educate the consumers to the point they understand all the best options, how to protect the family and wealth. Irrespective of our visa status and financial status, everyone must follow the law of the land. So we're all so busy with education, all our job, but we forget about how to protect the family. So our goal is to build the wealth centers across the country with the help of all the well-wishers, like-minded people. So we'll be very pleased to work with you and take more help to take this reach to more communities. Thank you. Thank you, Vijay.
Thank you so much. We'll request Mrs. Geeta Radhakrishnan to come along with your award for a group photograph. And Sita Bala, Mr. Thomas Koshif in the room. Jerome, please come.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Now I'll request the Bharatanatyam troupe from New Jersey, Ms. Ramya Ramnarayanan, to bring her students for a photograph with the Honorable Congressman. Congressman, one minute. Honorable. Give it up for Sachi Singh from New Jersey, giving the closing remarks. And as we have to get the congressman to his next destination, we'll have a quick group photograph with everybody, and then lunch is being served downstairs. Here to Sachi Singh.
The newspaper.
Yes.
Good to see you, brother.
This award was something that I got for my campaign, No Plastic Bags. And getting this award was something great that I felt when I got it. And I wasn't alone on this project. My friend was also in on this. She lives in South Brunswick, but wasn't able to come in today. So me and her started this when we were freshmen in high school. So we wanted to take it further by giving it reusable bags throughout New Jersey, which we did in different places, at different events, farms, and yeah.
Congratulations. Pleasure to meet you.
Made in India. Made for the world. 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 Long live. Long live. Long live.
Renewed strength in these words of prayer. Get well soon, my brother.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is our GSA Global Eye, first publication, a poem of English by Sharda Purna Sonti, a Telugu literature in Chicago.
Sonti.
You know Shardaji.
Yes, and to know. Just started in 1977 on Bowney Street. Bowney was the gentleman who actually fought for religious freedom in this country, for people to practice religion outside their homes. So then there was a church that was on for sale and that was closing. So there were three gentlemen. One of them was African American. All three of them together, they collected the funds and then established the first Hindu temple in the United States.
Wow.
Then the street was, so the gentleman who fought for religious freedom was Mr. Bowney, B-O-W-N-E. And so the street is called Bowney Street. Just August 4th, Mayor, our New York City Mayor, he inaugurated the street to be renamed as Ganesha Street.
Wow.
What a blessing.
So it's
beautiful.
It's really a lot of people worked so hard, and they wanted to bring actually people together.
I am proud to present the Pride of India Award to someone most deserving and honored to bestow this, share this upon you on behalf of the Global Eye Institute. Cultivating leadership and your leadership.
Thank you very much.
That you have shown.
Wonderful. I really cherish it throughout my life. And whatever I can do, I'll certainly do for the communities.
Proud to present to you this award on behalf of the Global Eye Institute. Thank you for your continued leadership. I'm honored to be here. Unfortunately, we're in the hospital, He will do anything to get attention, but we are praying for a very speedy recovery. He was preparing for us to come up here and had an unfortunate accident, but thank God for the service members in this hospital, the doctors, the physicians, and the successful surgery. So thank you so much. He couldn't come to us, but this time we came to him. He's been with us all along, and we're honored to be here.
It is a great honor for me to accept this award, Pride of India, the country that gave me birth. And I love the country very, very much. And whatever I can do, I'll certainly promise that I'll do to promote all relations with India and this United States of America.
Congressman, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm here all the way from Chicago to introduce a wonderful person. Who remembers the first person who landed in the moon? Everyone, right? But if I ask you, do you remember who landed in the moon second? No, our finger goes into the Google and we start typing who is the second. So, say that, be the creator, be the opening batsman, do it right. That's the word, yes. I'm talking about none other than Dr. Vijay G. Prabhakar. He also called us the famous Dr. VGP, and for us, he's the chief. Follow the chief. You will be in the right place at the right time and you will shine. That's his words. So mark the words. He is the first colored person to receive the U.S. Public Health Service Surgeon General Award for the Tribal Health Commission from 1986 to 1992 at Wisconsin. Is it a proud moment to be the first person? Yes. He is the first founder person for the GSA Expo India 75, which just happened in Chicago, which showcased 6 different sectors. He's the founder of the Global Eye Digital magazine, which goes into your home and everyone's home around the world, and it is 90 million people who are following that. So, why don't we connect with him? Why don't we hear from him? Apart from that, there's a long list. I can keep going on to introduce Dr. Vijay Prabhakar. So Vijay Prabhakar, Dr. Vijay Prabhakar, there's a lot. If you Google about him, you can read everything about him, but certain things. That's what I want to introduce him. He is the first person who founded and put all the organization together. Like 52 organizations came together in Atlanta in 2021 for the COVID, so that we can together make a difference, and he did it. He made the difference working with the Biden government, and it had a huge impact. So here, I would like to request Dr. Vijay Prabhakar to come and take the floor.
Thank you, Neelam. Good evening. It's a great pleasure to be with all of you on New York evening this evening. I'd like to request some of our esteemed colleagues who have come with me here to please come and join me on the stage. Mrs. Geeta Radhakrishnan from the American Multi-Ethnic Coalition New York chapter. Mrs. Sita Bala from the Global Eye Institute of International Leadership. Ms. Vibha Rajput from the Congressional Multi-Ethnic Advisory Task Force. Ms. Shri Gursami, the Secretary General of the American Multi-Ethnic Coalition. And Mr. Thomas Koshi, of course, our AMEC New York chapter. Please come. And we also like Mr. Ravi Karkara, President of the Global Eye Institute of International Leadership. Please come and join. I just would like to congratulate all of you all. I know you all, I don't want to stand between you and the lovely Kerala food which Koshi promised us and lured us to bring us here. The Malayalis across the nation have done wonderfully well for themselves. Being, as early as we can remember, the first Indian diaspora who achieved any success across the borders of India is the Malayalis and Kerala-lites. Give it up for you guys. I mean, you all were the nurses who were first exported in the 60s, and you all were the first people who went, as I see Mr. Matthew, Mr. Thomas Motakal here, and all of them who had migrated to the United States. And then it was the Gujarati community. And now, of course, the Telugus have taken over all over the country. We want to wish you all, it's been 15 years, I guess, 1993. And 1995 has been founded, and hope the institution, the World Malayali Council, grows from strength to strength. At this time, we'd like to honor Mrs. Thangam Arvindan, the President of the World Malayali Council, America region. Is she here? Please come. We'd like to honor you with a congressional medallion from the 7th Congressional District Multi-Ethnic Advisory Council. I'll request Mrs. Sri Gursami to please present the medallion to her for all her work and service and distinguished. We'll also request at this time Ms. Sita Bala to present an expo souvenir. And we also have the first publication from the GSA Global Eye publication. Mrs. Arvind, please. Please give it up for Ms. Thangam Arvind, your president from the New York region. We have the GSA Global Eye publications that's published. The GSA Global Eye publications have published our first publication, a collection of English poems authored by Dr. Sharda Purna Sonti, who has written 29 books, and we'll request Mrs. Geeta Radhakrishnan to please present it to our president, Mrs. Arvindan. Thomas is asking, Koshi is asking me to change the order, so I'll follow his guest here today. So we'd like to recognize Mr. Thomas Motakal, who you all know as a big constructor from New Jersey, and he's promised to set up the American Multi-Ethnic Coalition chapter in New Jersey. So we'll request Ms. Vibha Rajput to honor him with an AMEC medallion at this time. And please welcome Mr. Thomas Motakal. He's just returned from Dubai. To present the expo souvenir to Mr. Motakal. Please give it up for Mr. Thomas Motakal again. Now we'll request Mr. Biju Chako from the Secretary of the World Multi-Ethnic Council. World Malayali Council, yeah. Whenever you stand, when Thomas Koshi stands next to me, reminds me of my Madras Law College days. We were from Madras Medical College, and the Law College boys were known as the rowdies, and we were the quiet ones. They were always throwing rocket stones, and Thomas used to often visit the MMC campaign to, we'll call it in Tamil, sight identify the MMC girls. And he's still sight identifying the girls. That's why he was able to lure all the best of Chicago land here. And they came by one call from Thomas, and they jumped into the plane and came. So give it up for Thomas Koshi.
My strength and my fame comes in the boost from him, Dr. Prabhakar. But the same day, same time, he can put me down to the earth too. But whatever it is, leaders say, I do. That's it.
Well, thank you. This afternoon, we had a historic inauguration of the Global Eye International Institute of Leadership by Congressman Jonathan Jackson. And the president is with us today, Mr. Ravi Karkara, who is a global champion of sustainability, worked with the United Nations for nearly 25 years and now is doing fantastic work in green energy, hydrogen energy and climate change and all that. And we'd like him to honor Mr. Biju Chako with an inaugural Global Eye medallion today. And we'd also like Mr. Jerome Adistham, who is a very important person because he's the treasurer of most of our institutions, and he will present the first JCJ Global Eye publication staff to Mr. Biju Chako. We also would like to congratulate Mr. Epan George, the World Malayali Council of New York Province President. Mr. Epan George. We'll present him with the Global Eye International Institute of Leadership Inaugural Medallion from Neelam Sahu. As Mr. Koshi, who is from the East Coast, this is the first anniversary of him as the New York chapter chairman of the American Multi-Ethnic Coalition. He has roped in Mr. Matthew Motaka from New Jersey to start the chapter there. We have Mr. Ravi Teja, entrepreneur who's pioneering work in plastic from the state of Philadelphia, who's joined us today. And I'll request our Secretary General, Ms. Sita Bala, to please present him and invest him as the AMEC Chapter Philadelphia President. I request all of you all to continue doing some great work which you're doing and to be inclusive. What I loved today, what I saw was the Spanish dancing, which is very important, and that's what we stand for, multi-ethnic communities. We love our motherland, India, but we'd like to spread our wings to have all the other ethnic communities and minorities across America. And that's what our Congressman Danny K. Davis believes in, and we're practicing and acting. And today I want to salute the World Malayali Council and all of you all for doing that. Inclusivity is very important. The institute which we launched earlier this afternoon was creating tomorrow's inclusive leaders today. Thank you all and have a great time. Thank you, Thomas. God bless.
You know, along with all these leaders who have been recognized here, we also have other leaders who are silently supporting anything for the community. We have to mention all those names, but unfortunately, we are not able to because of the time constraint. But a couple of people, one Mr. Sabrina, who is actually a movie producer. You know, he has successfully launched a movie which is going successful. Mr. Raju Abraham, the same way. I mean, Raju Joseph. You know, see, these are all outstanding personalities in our community. When the community needs something, directly or indirectly, they are supporting and promoting. We have to recognize all these people. We have many more. We're going to announce very soon. Thank you so much. I'm going to interrupt for a second. You know, we are actually trying to recognize our friends here from the Hindu community. They are not just for the Hindu community, but they are actually promoting peace and harmony like what we do. Pandit Acharya Abhiramananda Avaduta and his friend or colleague Dada Govinda. Let me request them to say a few words for 30 seconds. Please come over. Please. We are trying to promote peace and harmony. We want to live together. We're going to reach out. They are also playing a vital part for the community. Let's recognize and let's give a big round of applause for them. Thank you.
Happy Republic Day to you all. I am very thankful to Prabhakar ji, and who had a milestone of the United States and entire globe of Malayali community. And I do appreciate Kosi ji, who has invited us as a friend. I just come all the way from the New Jersey. My name is Acharya Abhiramanand Gaddu. I am the President and Sectorial Secretary of New York sector of Anandmarg. Anandmarg is running more than 150 countries around the globe. We are working on health, education and service. So my colleague is Dada Kobi, and I have a program. One program is International Music and Cultural Festival in New York and Holy Center Auditorium. So I like to invite you all, please come and join and encourage all the community leaders where the numbers of the harmony and peace they have been working. We are more than 10,000 center of yoga and meditation and free of cost working around the whole globe. I am dedicated brothers of yours, and last 25 years I have been working being a sannyasi. So I like to request Dada Kobi. Thank you so much.
Namaskar everybody, happy Republic Day. Originally from Sweden, I learned yoga and meditation years ago, and actually I had the pleasure of traveling in Kerala for a few weeks. Back in 2004, I was enjoying spiritual bliss in India and had a few wonderful weeks on the coast of Kerala, Trivandrum, Ernakulam, Kochi. I'm here since a few years, since 2018. I'm a meditation and yoga instructor. And I just happened to come in with this senior person. He was giving his speech talking about it's time to enjoy. I feel that we need to take care of our mind and our body from very early age and should have a balanced approach to enjoying life, not postpone it until we retire. For that reason, I'm dedicate my life to promote physical, mental and spiritual health the best. I know I created a connection to the rich spiritual tradition of India, and now I'm like an ambassador working for Ananda Marga at our center in Flushing currently. So we offer yoga and meditation free of charge to the public,